Hello everyone, this is Farzana for Farzana Slow, and thank you so much for joining me today in this brand new vlog where I'll be sharing with you all the happenings and key reflections of the week as a trainee solicitor based in London. So if you're interested in this kind of content, make sure to like, share and subscribe, because I like to make sure that I'm helping you in some way or another change your life, become a better version of yourself every single day, and also change your life in a way that makes you feel like you're living a more positive, more peaceful, a life filled with happiness, contentment, enjoyment and peace, basically, which are the most important things I believe for anyone to feel as long as you're basically living on this earth. So that's why I like to make this kind of content, because I like to make sure the fact that I'm actually becoming a better version of myself, and through me you can actually become motivated and inspired to do the same as well. And this is why I want to share with you all today's vlog. And of course, if you want to check out any of my products, courses, services, everything in between, all of my links are all linked in the description box below, because that's what I like to put all of my links. And also everything is a very organized manner, so you can actually find everything very easily, hopefully, as well. And of course, if you want to reach out to me privately, then do email me at farzanaslow@gmail.com if you have any questions about a degree, trainee solicitor, what it's like to be a trainee solicitor, etc, anything like that. Do email me there. So I want to share with you all today this week's vlog and share with you all some of the lessons that I've learned on the 5 days that I basically went to work as a trainee solicitor, and what I'm basically learning, because I believe that the more I document myself learning and becoming a better version of myself, it also helps me understand what kind of a person I'm becoming eventually. So I feel like that one of the best things that I've learned in this week as a trainee solicitor is the fact that completing a matter takes about 1 to 2 hours. And the reason is because obviously whenever you secure that date that particular file is going to be completing and exchanging, whatever that might be, of course you feel very excited because you feel like that, oh my god, this is going to be completing. But obviously there's a lot of work that comes with it, and a lot of responsibility, in fact, whenever you're actually trying to complete a particular type of a file, because it goes through a lot of checks, a lot of balances, and it goes through literally 2-3 people, or even 2-3 parts of a department. So for example, whenever we are raising payments, it's very important that it goes through us first of all, so myself, and then it goes through the accounts department, and then the directors department, and then it basically goes through and it gets transferred, especially if it's a huge amount of money, for example 200k, 300k, 400k, and obviously all this kind of process and all these kind of steps take literally 1 to 2 hours. And that's basically what I'm realizing as I'm completing more and more files on a weekly basis. I'm trying to understand and I'm learning basically the fact that it is actually very time consuming to complete a file, and it doesn't bring me more happiness when I see that, when I get to say a particular client that, you know, your congratulations, we have actually completed the matter and you have your own house now. And that makes me feel so happy, especially when the client actually comes back to us and let us know that we have able to provide a really good service. It makes me feel so happy, and I'm really proud for the fact that I'm actually part of the exchange completion section of my career right now, because last year I was in post completion. Now I'm basically going from the end to the start of a transaction. So for example, let's say if the transaction of a property, and of any kind of property, is from A to Z, of course I'm basically starting off from Z and going upwards, and eventually inshallah one day I'll reach the point A, which makes me feel so excited. And because I feel like that I'm learning along the way of me actually doing this job, and the more I complete actually more files, the more I'm actually trying to understand what it's like to actually do a really good job and complete files more and more. And of course, if you want to reach out to me for any kind of particular matter, a legal matter that you're going through, and you need some kind of legal advice from any kind of the best solicitors in the country, I'm definitely going to be providing you with that. And if I cannot do that, I can always refer you to some one of my colleagues that actually are working on that particular department or a field. For example, if you have a litigation matter, if you have an employment law matter, or if you have any kind of human rights, family law, etc., I can always refer your matter to my colleagues, and they're going to be really helpful, I'm sure, because they're really good at giving their best of the best. They're giving always 100% legal service. So always reach out to me. And if you want to reach out to me privately, then of course you can email me at farzanaslow@gmail.com, because that's what I like to communicate with you guys on an anonymous basis. And if you have any private questions, I can always take from there as well. So as I was saying to you before, completing actually a file takes about 1 to 2 hours. So imagine if you have 5 files on that day that are completing, it will literally take me 10 hours, even 12 hours for some matter, because some of the matters are more complicated than others. So for example, especially if it's a leasehold matter, it takes more and more checks because a lot of more documents are involved. It's much more complex, and there's a lot of money involved as well, usually as well. So you need to do a lot of checks. So that's one of the things that I've learned. The second thing is that I'm moving from point Z to point A when it comes to a property transaction. So I'm not starting from A to Z, I'm starting from Z to A, which is also equally very exciting because I believe that as long as I'm learning something new every single day at work, in the office, it makes me feel so good, alhamdulillah. The third thing that I basically have learned in this week is the fact that practice good habits from early on. As I'm in my learning stage, it's very important for me to make sure that I am learning and practicing good habits as much as possible. For example, one of the ones that I basically mentioned to you all in my previous vlog is the fact that whenever you're calling a party, for example, a client or a lender or any other third parties involved in a particular transaction, it's very important that you are leaving an attendance note, which is also known as basically a document where you basically record what you discuss with a particular person, about what and what are the next steps basically. And I believe that this is helping me a lot in building good habits. So whenever I become one day, inshallah, a newly qualified solicitor, I would always remember to do these good practices, good habits. And I'm not going to be feeling lazy and thinking that, yeah, I never did it when I was a trainee solicitor, this particular job or the particular task or a duty, whatever that might be. I'm not going to do it now anymore, because let's be honest, as the days go by, as you're a trainee solicitor and you're becoming closer and closer and actually ending your 2-year contract, it's very important that you're building good habits. So when it comes to, for example, the attendance note, as I mentioned before, it's very important that you're doing this, especially when you're in your early stages, so that it gets ingrained in your brain that you need to do this also when you become a superior solicitor or a newly qualified solicitor. It doesn't matter. You need to keep doing this for the rest of your life as a trainee or as a solicitor for that matter. So it's very important that you're actually practicing. And this is something that I actually advised by my boss as well, because he believes that the more and early on, whenever you're building good habits, that basically gets ingrained in your brain and it stays with you forever. So I highly recommend for anyone who is actually currently a trainee solicitor, build good habits from now on, and so that you can actually keep doing that for the rest of your life very consistently. And consistency is very, very key when it comes to this kind of particular job, because it is so unpredictable, and you never know what kind of a file you're going to be getting the next day or what kind of instructions you might be getting. So it's very important that you are doing that. And another fourth lesson that I basically have learned this week is the fact that take it slow. Never ever feel like that, oh my god, I'm still in completion or exchange, of every matter. I don't know how to do a report on title. I don't know how to do inquiries. I don't know how to do source of funds. But let's be honest, you are the one who is going to be taking this slow, and it's very important to take it slow, because the more you digest things very, very slowly, the more you actually can feel the taste. For example, whenever you're having something, whenever you're eating something and it's something that is completely new and you're just gulping it in your body and it's not digested properly, that means that you did not really get to taste the food. So it's very important that you're eating very slowly so that you can actually get to taste the flavors. You get to actually taste all the spices, all the the salt, the pepper, the spices, the turmeric, whatever that might be. So it's very important that you are taking it very slow, especially at your work as a trainee solicitor. I do not feel like that you need to rush things to become a Z to A, like reach it within 1 week, but that's actually not possible, especially if we're going to be doing something which is like property law, which requires a lot of checks and balances, a lot of security checks, and a lot of money is involved, usually sometimes 500k, 1 million, 1.5 million, and sometimes even 2 million pounds are involved. So it's very important that you are taking it very, very slow and focus on your work no matter what, especially whenever you're in the office between 9 to 5:30 or 6 p.m. God forbid 6 a.m. But 6 p.m., whatever that might be, make sure that you're fully focusing on work and you're not thinking about anything else. And of course, if there is an emergency, you will get a call, I promise. So you don't have to think about necessarily your parents, your spouse, or your relatives, what your in-laws are doing, whatever that might be. Focus on your work 100%, and you will see how you learn to focus just on work whenever you are in the office. And I promise you will digest the work much more easily and you will learn faster as well. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. If you did, then please do like, share, and subscribe, because I like to make this kind of content on a weekly basis, because I like to make sure that I am learning, and as I'm learning, I also like to grow with other people as well that I really truly love, and that's you guys. And that's why I like to make this kind of content on a weekly basis, and I really truly enjoy. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed as well. And if you did, once again, please do like, share, subscribe. And if you want to reach out to me privately for anything, then please do email me at farzanaslow@gmail.com, where I like to reply within 24 to 48 hours. And I'll see you guys very soon.